Thank you, Shreya, and thank you the management of Brooklyn Mission School for giving me this opportunity to interact with the lovely kids about the pursuit of creative writing. A very good morning to you all, children. I was really looking forward to the sessions because children are a gift of God. So before we start our session, we should know what the session is all about. What is creative writing? Do you all know? You all write, I know, for some reason or the other. Perhaps you write to answer your question paper. Sometimes you write to convey some information. You all must be texting on WhatsApp, isn't it? At times you also use writing on play cards to communicate with each other, isn't it? So writing, the basic writing is an act of communication. You communicate to each other through your writing. Your teacher also writes on the blackboard or perhaps on your notebook to instruct you, isn't it? Also, writing is a means of keeping record. In older days, videos and audios were not very popular to keep records. Records are very sanctified, and audio and video can basically influence the person who's looking at the record. So writing is a means of instruction, communication, and keeping a record. This is all about writing. But what on earth is creative writing? Any idea? Well, let me share my screen. I had prepared a small presentation for you all to understand what is creative writing and how to go about it. I'm sharing my screen. So now kids, are you able to see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can. You can or you cannot. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Good. See many hands up.
Yeah,
so
ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you for this gesture. So now let's go about what is creative writing. Creativity is something which comes from inside and helps us express ourselves, our feelings. You jump with joy, isn't it? When something good happens, you feel like jumping or dancing or singing or even painting. All these mediums are creative mediums. They help you create something new and express yourself, express your emotions. This process brings joy and happiness. And not only that, it helps you connect with people. When you dance, people join in, isn't it? This is infectious. When you sing, people try to tune in. They get a hang of your happiness or even sorrow. It is a very creative pursuit. Similarly, writing is also a means of expressing yourself, your feelings, what you feel. If you feel joyful, take a piece of paper and write down. Write down what you're happy about. Write down a journal. If you're sorrowful, if you're sad, if you had an altercation with your friend, write it down on a paper. Write what you feel. Writing is not only about facts, but it is also about feelings. When we write about our feelings, what we feel, it is creative writing. When we write about facts, it is a simple textbook writing. Both of them are equally important. But we cannot stress enough on the creative medium of expression. Therefore, kids, I would encourage you all to grab a paper and pencil whenever you feel low. Write it down. In a few moments, you will feel liberated. You will feel happy. Trust me. Try this out. And if you're feeling overexcited, you're bubbling with something great happened, you got a prize, you got an unexpected gift, and you simply can't contain your excitement, try writing it down too. It would help you calm down. Because not always you can express yourself by dancing or singing, but you can always express yourself by writing. It is your personal thing. You can do it by yourself. Whether you want to share it or not is your choice. Second thing, the creative writing aspect is all about making things up. You must have had friends who tell a lot of stories. You would say, she always makes things up. She always creates stories, but that's his or her talent. In a world where 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, things can get quite limited. But when you are into creativity, your 1 plus 1 can become 3. Your sun is yellow or orange. How about if your sun was green? Can you imagine that? You have 1 moon and 1 sun. Imagine if you had 4 moons in the night. The fact that we have 1 moon would always be there. It's a fact, it's not going to change. So this fact limits us. But in a parallel world, perhaps on a different planet, you may have multiple moons. You cannot restrict yourself from imagining what it can be. Someone imagined that we could fly. Wright brothers did that a few centuries ago. And that imagination, that creativity led to a fact that we can indeed fly through aeroplanes or gliders or helicopters. So it is very necessary to express your feelings. And writing is a beautiful medium to express. I also used writing as a medium to express myself while in school, while in college. And here I am today, a published author. So, my dear children, I would really encourage you to grab a pen and paper whenever you feel something strong, strong happiness, strong sorrow, and calm yourself. Now you know what creative writing is all about. It is writing, but writing in a different way. Okay, children, now I come to my next slide. Why do we need it? Why do we need creative writing? It's okay, we write, it's okay, but what is the use of it? The first use of it is to entertain and to connect. Writing connects, because reading facts, like I said, limits ourselves. Facts can be boring. Necessary, very necessary. Facts are very necessary. You ought to learn them well. You ought to learn your equations well, chemistry equations or maths equations. You ought to learn them well. They help you in future, but they limit you. So to rise from limited to unlimited, express yourself through creative writing. And it also helps you connect. Just like I said, if you grab a paper and pen whenever you feel sad and write it down, you feel free. But if you want, you can also share that piece with your friend when he is feeling low, when she is feeling joyful. So writing has the power to connect. When you read, you understand what the author is saying, and sometimes you feel, oh, I can feel the same. So your writing has the power to make others feel too what you had felt. You might forget what you had felt, but your writing would be recorded, and it would not let you forget what you felt, and also help you communicate with others how you had felt. You must, I understand you are all from different grades, from grade 1 to grade 8. So you all must be into reading, aren't you? Do you read books other than textbooks, like literature, English literature, or comics? I'm sure you must be reading. Do you feel good after reading? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up. Good, I can see Tishta raising her hand. Am I audible now?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So creative writing brings beauty to the otherwise laid out world. Why do I say laid out? Because this is how things are. There's a system to everything, and we should respect that system. If you want to go unsystematic, let's do it on paper. So writing brings out the beauty of humanity, beauty of your feelings, beauty of the world. Say you observe something, you observe a friend helping another friend, and you write it down on paper and also express your feelings to it. It makes the whole experience very beautiful. You know, you could say, you could, in textbook writing, you would say, A met B helped C, A got happy while looking at the scene. But when you write creatively, it would be A met B and saw B helping C out. C felt joyful after receiving the help. He was thankful and decided that he would help others too. This touched A. Okay? So when you add feelings, words to the whole medium, it makes it more beautiful. Just like a painting. The third thing why we need creative writing is to enhance our imagination. Children, you are in growing up age. You all have to achieve a lot. And I'm sure you're very capable, very intelligent people. I can see that on your faces, listening honestly. You all are very capable. But you would also have to enhance your imagination. Imagination is the power which God has gifted you. It is because of imagination that our civilization, that our society is progressing. Isn't it? Like in the earlier example, someone imagined that we could fly, and now we indeed can fly. Someone imagined that we could communicate to hundreds of people while sitting at home, and now it is made possible. It is important to imagine what the world can be if there were no boundaries. So there were no countries at all. There was no single country. You could roam about freely. Imagination is very important because it is a stepping stone of success. It takes you to where you can belong. That is the reason why we need creative writing. Moving on to the third part. Now, children, each philosophy has three aspects to it. What is that philosophy? Why do we need it? And how it works. So now we are going to the how part. How can we write? You would say, okay, Charu ma'am has talked about what creative writing is. Why do we need it? But how do we do it? What do we need? Each art needs some resources. If you want to paint, you need to hold a brush and you need to know how to stroke the brush. If you want to dance, you need music. You need a place to dance and a few steps perhaps to brush up your dancing skills. Similarly, in order to write creatively, what do we need? We need our imagination. That is the first step. Imagine anything you want. Observe the world around and add your imagination to it. Okay, so and so happened, but what if this is not the way it was? What if it was the other way around? Teachers teach children. How about if children taught teachers? Would that be possible? Imagine. Widen your horizon. See what the world can be and how things can be. The second part is, the second most important, also an important, equally important part is to read a lot. Once you read a lot, you hone your skills. You brush up your skills. Read as much as you can. Read newspapers, read magazines, read storybooks, read any good literature which you like. And try to enjoy the process. If you feel that you do not like reading thrillers, skip them. Try reading mystery. Try reading autobiographies. Find out what you like, but read a lot. Because when you read, you know how you can be good. A painter can be a good painter, but he can be a better painter if he studies the work of other artists, isn't it? If you are a dancer and you want to become a better dancer, how would you become? You would become a better dancer by observing the dancers who are better than you, isn't it? Observe and become better. Read a lot. Read for your enjoyment. Read to learn and see how people are writing, how the writers are writing. You can read, there are so many books by StoryMirror also, over 300 books. You can read one of them. They're books written by children. They're books written by artists. Read a lot and try and understand how writing works. The third part, which is also important, perhaps not so important, but it is, it has a meaning, is to enhance your vocabulary. What is a vocabulary? Can anyone tell me over the chat box? What do we mean? Vocabulary is basically the list of words you know, the words you use in your daily life. So if you want to write in Hindi, you should know many Hindi words. If you want to write in a regional language, you should know many such words. If you want to write in English or French or any language for that matter, you should know the words, lot of words. Each word has a story. Each word gives you a feeling. So you can make your writing better by enhancing your vocabulary. Do I make sense? If you know only limited words, your writing would be limited. How would you express yourself? If you knew only 3 colors from the rainbow and use them to make your drawing would be limited. But the more colors, shades, and nuances you know, the more your drawing is enhanced. It becomes more beautiful, more colorful, more relatable. Similarly, children, the more words you know, the more wonderful, more creative, more beautiful your writing becomes. Therefore, in order to be a better writer, please build your vocabulary. It would help you in life as a public speaker, as a good employee of a company. It would help you in varied ways. I urge you, children, to read a lot and to enhance your vocabulary. Okay? So now let's do an exercise. We all talked about what is creative writing, why should we do creative writing, and how should we do creative writing. But now let's see, can we do that now as an exercise? Let's try. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. On the next slide, I have a scenario for you. Imagine that you are lying in your bedroom at night and suddenly from your window, you see a bright light shining from the outside of your window. You get up and see a spaceship. All of you imagining that? Take a moment, close your eyes and imagine that. Give me a thumbs up if you are doing that. I can see Musharraf, Krishtita, Pragyan, Haris. Good children, good. Now, imagine and build a picture in your mind. Take a moment and think how the spaceship could be. Would it be round? Would it be like a saucer? Would it be like a rectangle, a box? How could it be like? Would it have a lot of gadgets? Would there be lots of lights on it? How could it be like? Now on the next slide, I will show what I imagined, okay? Here you go. This is my imagination. Similarly, you have to use your imagination to paint a picture in words. Not through brush, but through words. What does your spaceship look like? What does it sound like? Boo, or thundering sound, or soft music? What is the sound which is coming up from that particular spaceship? Is there a smell? Burning smell? Pungent smell? Or a soothing smell? Sweet smell emanating from that spaceship? How would it be like if we go and touch it? How would it feel like? It would be quite hot, very cold. It would be all shiny. How does it look? There would be life on planets other than Earth. There is a lot of probability of this. So if there's life on other solar systems, then there's a probability of spaceships also. Why not use your imagination to think about it? And how about an alien? What would an alien look like? Would it be like a man or an animal or something which looks like a robot? Let's see. Here's my alien. You could have a different type of alien too, but you have to think about the 4 things, the feelings which you feel once you see the alien. What does the alien look like? Steely, dangerous, humorous? What could the alien smell like? What could the alien feel like? What could the alien sound like? And now I come to my next aspect, which is vocabulary. If I say the alien was ravenous, what does ravenous mean? It is a wonderful word in English, which says it means to be really, really hungry. Now, hungry is not a synonym of ravenous. Being very hungry, very, very hungry, I could just eat you up right now. That is the kind of feeling which the word ravenous gives. So I can express the alien by using this word. This stresses about how important words are. Being hungry, being very hungry, doesn't give us that feel as ravenous does. It is a small exercise, my dear children, about spaceship, alien, and using beautiful words that can make you all write something creative and share with your friends, with your family, and see their reaction. It would bring them joy. It would bring you joy when you imagine and write. Now, this is my example, okay, what I wrote when I imagined a spaceship. It goes like this. I wake up to bright light beaming right into my eyes. My eyes got, it's coming from the bedroom window, and it is so bright that it is almost blinding. I wonder what it could be. As I walk closer to the window, I can smell something burning. I look out of my window and I cannot believe what I see. I close my eyes and open them again. It's still there. Before me is a shiny silver spaceship. Its door has just opened and alien-like creature appears. The alien spots me and begins to walk in my direction. It looks ravenous. And now I'm scared. As it walks closer towards me, I begin to smell a scent I have never smelled before. It was a cross between a garlic or a wet dog. So using those words, feelings, I try to express something, okay? The smell emanating from that alien was revolting in my imagination. In your imagination, it could be something beautiful. It could be sweet like roses or a cross between rose and jasmine. Now coming on to the last step in our exercise. Today we tried imagining a spaceship, but there can be more to it. It's not only about the spaceship and the alien, but there can be multiple scenarios. You can imagine and try to write down, where were we? Where were you when before the spaceship landed? What were you doing? You were having your dinner, you were sleeping, you were studying. The spaceship lands. Describe what you felt. Suddenly something bad happens. What could be something bad that happens? Hmm? You had a fight with your siblings? Or perhaps your TV antenna or something, your dish antenna broke down. That could be something bad. The problem is solved. The problem which came up earlier, is solved, and we are able to return to our bed and go back to sleep. So all of this creativity, imagination, if you write them all, you can create a story, a science fiction. This is just one example, my dear kids. There can be more. Not only about spaceships or aliens, you can write about futuristic science. You can write about the people you know. You can write about the relationships you have had with your friends. And imagine how things could be different. You have a friend who is upset with you because of some reason. Imagine that reason never happened. What would be your relationship then? Imagine he did something to make you upset. How would you react? And try to think that is his reaction now when he's upset with you, is it justifiable? Try to see the other person's point of view too. So don't limit yourself, dear children, and find wings with creative writing. We are towards the end of our session, and I'll reiterate what we had discussed in a few words. The first step to creative writing is to grab a paper and pencil whenever you feel strongly, a strong emotion, strong happiness, strong sorrow, strong excitement, write it down. It would help you calm. The second thing is to use your imagination as much as you can. Don't limit yourself. The third thing is to read a lot. And the fourth thing is to build your vocabulary. If you do all of these four, my dear kids, you all can be good writers and find happiness and joy in writing. That's all from my side, dear children. Thank you for listening so patiently to me. You have been very good children. Thank you.